It's a whole lot of people not sitting down for this ceremony. It's gonna be a long night. We got a 3-hour ordeal to get through. So the quicker you sit down, the quicker we can get it over with. You got two. I don't think the stream is working. So we're gonna just act like we're talking to the people in this room, and people will catch their recording. Folks, if we can get it a little bit quieter so we can start the ceremony, I'd love that. In that chair. Yep.
The team helps forge these connections by offering curricular and extracurricular visits, poetry workshops, 8-week writing workshops, an annual anthology of student writing, and our inaugural LGBTQ+ Youth Poet Laureate residency. Yeah. The LGBTQ+ Youth Poet Laureate residency is exclusively for LGBTQ+ high school students within the Department of Education. It offers a transformative 4-month poetry mentorship led by LGBTQ+ poet in residence. This year, the students had the pleasure of receiving this mentorship from the incredible Chrysanthemum, a renowned poet who serves as the co-director of the Providence Poetry Slam and a recipient of Lambda Literary Awards 2023 Justin Chin Memorial Scholarship. This residency empowered LGBTQ+ high school students, nurtured their poetry and craft, fostered a sense of community, and celebrated their unique voices in the queer and trans literary landscape. Last Friday, we concluded our LGBTQ+ Youth Poet Laureate residency with a public reading. Before the fellows shared their work with our community, they described their experience within the residency. "It was the highlight of my freshman year," one fellow said. "I don't want it to end," another fellow said. And many fellows expressed that they had the best educator/mentor. Tonight, we would like to share the readings of 2 distinguished poets, Danica and Victoria. Their pieces will also be included in our second anthology, Transcendence, available on June 20th, that features the literary works of LGBTQ+ high school students who participated in the 8-week writing workshops and the LGBTQ+ Youth Poet Laureate residency. First, we have Danica, then Victoria towards the end of the ceremony. Danica. The LGBTQ+ Youth Poet Laureate is a senior in high school that writes poems about the ever-fleeting sense of freedom humanity attempts to grasp. Be it through talks of culture, history, or the mundane, Danica allows their truth to flow freely as she considers honesty to be freedom. Please enjoy the recording of Danica's poem, My Take on a Guzzle.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danica Torres, and I was a fellow in the first LGBTQ+ Youth Poet Laureate residency with LGBTQ writers in schools. During my time in the residency, I learned about myriad poets from myriad cultures that formed a motley crew of queer identities. Aside from pride, I'd never been around such a wonderful spectrum of people, and seeing them progress alongside me has been an utmost joy. Outside of class, I'd finish up the poems we didn't get to read so I could analyze them further. It shouldn't have surprised me, but queer words speak to queer hearts. The poem I will be sharing with you all today is titled, My Take on the Ghazal. You're buttoning my school cardigan to chest, brand new breaths to take. 3rd grade, I am stoic like a soldier, ripe and ready, so few steps left to take. We wait and risk, brother and I, like 2 fish waiting for raining applause. Sharks lurk at home, but with mother we're safe, so to the water we take. My first time stealing had gone without a hitch. I smiled in the car until Mother grabbed my wrist, the very hand I used to take. Pills over liquids and injections when I'm sick. And just a few. I'm scared of that number going over, so even pills I rarely take. An old man leers, blank-faced, wasted in the corner. I hate that he's there because it's the bus I take. I fumble with my balance, tiptoeing around expensive edges, heavy in cost, now just lost, like the ballet class I used to take. Glutton, devour that cookie, devour that cake. None of it will go home, I'm too thin, so take. I'd rather you alive than dead. For your mind, take a break. The repeat in this routine is killing me visibly. Camera on, recording starts, another take. Debate until the lights turn off while the janitor whistles. Useless arbiters arguing, we now consider your take. Misguided man mopes in the musty manger, his birthplace. Looking up, hands cupped, it's his father's advice he takes. Women strolling in the streets, black and white nets on their heads. They come out purple and red, torn to pieces by a state made to take. Take my statement, my name, my birth date, officer. You don't care that I'm a statistic, delinquent, ingrate. I, Danica, am taken by someone that will break me. One day then, for my sake, it will be everyone else I take. Thank you to Chrysanthemum, LGBTQ Writers in Schools, and Lambda Literary for this opportunity. Congratulations to the finalists, and welcome to the Lammy Awards.
Let's keep the applause going. I'm here to introduce Miss Peppermint.
Come on, honey. Is this the LGBTQ plus community or is this the LGBTQ plus community? Hello. My name is Peppermint, and I am so excited to be here with all of you fabulous writers and creators and luminaries and the 17 people that are coming in the door by the bar. Okay. How y'all doing tonight? I am so happy and thankful to be here. I want to say thank you to Lambda Literary. It's my first time being here with y'all tonight. You're taking my virginity. Thank you very much. Oh. And more or less, you know what I mean? Rumor has it. Anyway, I spend a lot of my time, when I'm not on stage or at a drag bar, I spend a lot of my time thinking about advocacy for our community. And one of the things that I've noticed, obviously, I'd have to be living under a rock to notice, not to notice, is the attacks on the LGBTQ plus community at the legislative level. And in addition to so many things, especially anti-trans legislation and drag bans, which both get me my blood boiling, are the book bans that we've heard so much about. And the attacks on not only our stories and the stories of people of marginalized communities and that are different than the norm, but also the attacks on libraries and the closing down of so many institutions and resources for people who may live in a small town and don't have access. And so the work that Lambda Literary does is obviously essential. The work that, because it's uplifting the work that so many of you do. And I'm grateful because a lot of the ideas and the connections that I had about the queer community that helped me form a better sort of self-image came from me reading books before I had the internet. I won't go down the list, but I had no idea that an organization and recognition like this existed. And so I'm really grateful and really excited, enthused to be able to contribute to the evening and help host it and help move it along, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay. Now, are there still people coming in the door? What are y'all doing? Y'all coming in the door? Get in and get to your seat. There's all these gift bags here. Hand me that gift bag. If you don't get to your seat, I might get, let me see what's in these gift bags. I might be at the tables. Okay. No, it's good. It's good. Take it back. Put that back at the table. Okay. Well, I'm not dragging the gift bags. I think they're great. But what I do want to do is tell you something really important. We begin the evening with the awards for outstanding transgender fiction and nonfiction presented by Torrey Peters. Who, of course, is the author. I took your gift bag. Look at you. No, I didn't. Who is the author of Detransition Baby. Yes? Published by One World, of course. Her next book, Stag Dance, will be published by Random House in May 2025. Please welcome Torrey Peters.
Thank you. I came to my first Lambda Awards a decade ago. It was the second year after they expanded the single transgender category into 3: trans fiction, nonfiction, and poetry. Yeah, that was great. My boyfriend at the time convinced me to sneak in without paying as a kind of ex post facto protest for trans people only having had a single category for so long. And to me, this was a very effective type of protest. I could be sure to get what I was demanding because I already had. But then suddenly there were 3 categories, which meant 15 slots. And that was pretty cool because it meant that because there still weren't that many trans books getting published, if you wrote a book, it meant you had a decent chance of winning a Lambda. It wasn't like a sure thing that you'd win, as evidenced by the fact that I've never won. But it was like horse racing odds. So it's like, go ahead, take a bet, write a book. The worst thing that happens is you get nominated for a Lambda. But I'm pleased to say that things have changed. I'm still not paying to be here, but like in an official sanctioned way. And also, there are tons of books by trans authors getting published. Yes, thank you. I'm glad that the publishing industry is finally beginning to see the same needs for a trans presence that Lambda saw a decade ago. But selfishly, it means an end to my easy horse racing odds. The books nominated here tonight are truly excellent, the best in a crowded and competitive field, as varied in approach, topic, style, and form as any other group of writers will produce. Here are the finalists for trans fiction.
The finalists in Outstanding Transgender Fiction are Bellies by Nicola Diamond, Hanover Square Press. Girlfriends by Emily John, The Rage Brothers by Daphne Bob, translated Kamala Memoir, Autonomy Press. Trash by Sylvia Aguilar Zella, Wild Geese by Sula Emmanuel, Feminist Press.
And the winner of the 2024 Lammy in Outstanding Transgender Fiction is Wild Geese by Sula Emmanuel.
I'm busy working on my second novel, but thank you to everyone who read and enjoyed Wild Geese and said nice things about it, to my agent Liv Pavement, and to everyone at the Feminist Press at CUNY in New York. To the other nominees of the trans fiction category, 2023 was such a good year for trans fiction. It was such a brilliant year. The nominees this year were all amazing. I was so honoured to be alongside them. The fact that it was such a strong year makes this honour that bit greater for me as well. Annual Lambda Literary for supporting all of us, for supporting queer voices in these difficult times when they're under threat in the US and around the world. This is such a huge honour. Thank you so much.
Here are the finalists for nonfiction.
The finalists in Outstanding Transgender Nonfiction are Love and Money, Sex and Death by Morgan Sammut. Miss Major Speaks, Conversations with a Black Trans Revolutionary by Miss Major. On Community by On Hollow Trends, Essays by Stacey Jane Rogan, University of Transland, Consent, Kink, and Pleasure by Mix Slide.
And the winner of the 2024 Lammy in Outstanding Transgender Nonfiction is Miss Major Speaks, Conversations with a Black Trans Revolutionary.
I'm so stoked because this award means that maybe we managed to do it right, to write the book that Major didn't have access to when she was growing up, that I wanted more access to when I was growing up. Personal stories about queer elders who struggled and managed to get through, especially during a time when people are feeling so isolated. I feel like it can really save a life to know that there are other people out there like you. So thank you, and thanks to Eric Stanley for introducing Major and I years ago.
Here to present the awards for gay romance, lesbian romance, and LGBTQ plus erotica, Nina Haines. Nina is a freelance marketer, writer, and creator based in Brooklyn, New York. And in 2021, after cultivating an engaged, book-loving community on TikTok, she founded a queer book club called Saflit. That's right, okay. I'm reading from cards. Which now has over 8,200 members from over 60 countries. Hey! Saflit reads queer fiction and nonfiction and strives to be a safe space where sapphic women and non-binary people can come and read sapphic books, chat about life, ask for and offer support, and celebrate their identities. She is currently working on her debut novel. Let's hear for Nina Haines.
Hi. My introduction to queer literature was through gender and sexuality studies academia. The work of Michel Foucault, Bell Hooks, Audre Lorde shaped me to intellectually accept my queer identity as a religiously traumatized 21-year-old. Theoretically, I felt valid as a bisexual woman, but in practice, I still didn't feel comfortable taking up space in our community. It wasn't until I left academia and I could finally read for pleasure again that I found queer romance. Finally, I could see queer lives that felt possible, attainable, and frankly, hot as hell. These novels gave me the confidence to translate what I read on the page into real life. Romance is a category often trivialized, written off as porn with plot, but as a baby bisexual, these books gave me hope for queer joy realized and lived. And not to mention sometimes very, shall we say, creative, helpful ideas in the bedroom. In my book club, Safflit, Peppermint, you said it perfectly, wherever you are, romance reads are always the most fun, the most beloved, the most talked about and engaged with. They're fun, sexy, important, and they celebrate the gay happily ever after that we all deserve. Here are the finalists for gay romance.
The finalists in Outstanding Gay Romance are Dionysus in Wisconsin by E.H. Lumpkin, William Press. Mistletoe and Michigan by M.A. Wardell, self-published. The Art of Husbandry by J. Hogan, Southern Lights Publishing, self-published. The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen by A.J. Charles, Sourcebooks. We Could Be So Good by Cat Sebastian, Avon Books.
And the winner is... It's hard to get out of the envelope. We Could Be So Good by Cat Sebastian.
Hi, I'm so honored that We Could Be So Good was nominated alongside a group of writers I respect and whose books I've adored. I want to thank Lambda Literary for creating a space where our books can be celebrated. I also want to thank everyone at Avon who's helped get my books out into the world. When I sat down to write We Could Be So Good, I wanted to tell a story about how queer hope and queer joy can be revolutionary. Hearing from readers about what this book has meant to them has been one of the greatest experiences of community that I've ever participated in. We Could Be So Good was a labor of love, and I'm so happy that it means as much to you as it does to me. Thank you.
Here are the finalists for lesbian romance.
The finalists in Outstanding Lesbian Romance are A Lady to Treasure by Memoir by Chris Bryant. Dance With Me by Tue June. Love at 350 Degrees. Lucky in Place by Melissa Brady.
And the winner is these envelopes. There we go. Dance With Me by Georgia Beers.
Georgia Beers.
Georgia.
Georgia
There
Beers.
you are. Yes!
Georgia Beers. Hello. Georgia Beers is a longtime award-winning lesbian romance author. When not writing, she volunteers on the and winning. She volunteers on the programming committee for Rochester's annual LGBTQ film festival. This is Georgia's second Lambda Literary Award.
Thank you. Wow, I did not expect this. Thank you so much. I can't tell you what being in a room of my people feels like, especially right now. I'll make this short and sweet because that was a long walk. And I'm in heels and my feet are killing me. I want to thank Lambda Literary for this awesome award. Thank you so much. I want to thank my publisher, Bold Strokes, my editor, Ruth Sternglantz, my family, my friends, the other lesbian romance writers. Romance is written off often as fluffy and meaningless, but it is an escape, and it is about love, and it is about the journey of falling in love and the happily ever afters. Mostly thank you to my readers who have allowed me to make a career out of this very, very cool job. Thank you so much.
And here are the finalists for LGBTQ plus romance and erotica.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Romance and Erotica are A Tight Squeeze, Smutty Trans and Queer Stories by Chef's Choice by TJ Alexander. Fly With Me, a novel by Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Erin Blake. The Fiancé Farce by Alexandria Belfour. Avon.
And the winner is A Tight Squeeze, Smutty Trans and Queer Stories by Laura Q.
Laura Q. Weir's work aims to explore the nebula of trans identity, desire, and erotic experience by centering trans for trans connections, while they contributed to the 2021 LGBTQ erotica finalists, Smut Peddlers, Glad Day 50. This is Laura's first Lambda Literary Award. Y'all enjoying them cocktails? I might as well come on out here while we're waiting for just a moment. Just wanted to check on you. Yes, please put those at table two. Table two, there we go. Everybody, oh, you're taking your orders? All right. Did you get your food yet? You didn't get yours yet. You got your, what is that, calamari? I don't know. What are you having? The charcuterie board. All right. Well, nothing says LGBTQ like some good old veggies and dip. Let's welcome Laura to the stage.
thank you. I was not expecting this. I have nothing prepared. Fuck. Thank you to Maxwell. I love him so much. To Kel, Kelsey, TJ, Tiana, MJ. Y'all are fucking wonderful. I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Here to present the awards for LGBTQ plus nonfiction, bifiction, and bifiction. Oh shit, bitch. Wait, hold up. But the funny thing is, I was like, bifiction, and then I saw another thing, I was legit almost said bifocals. Here to present the awards for LGBTQ plus nonfiction, by nonfiction, and by fiction is the author Gwendolyn Kiste. Gwendolyn is the 3-time Bram Stoker Award-winning author of The Rust Maidens, Reluctant Immortals, Boneset and Feathers, and Pretty Mars all in a row. Marys, damn it, I can't read. All in a row, and The Haunting of Velkwood. She is a Lambda Literary Award winner, and her fiction has also received this honor. Her fiction has also received the winner. I swear it's all moving on the page. Anybody got those bifocals? Her fiction has also received the This Is Horror Award, okay, for Novel of the Year, as well as nominations for the Premios Kelvin, Ignitus, and Dragon Awards. Let's hear for Gwendolyn Kiste.
Tonight, I'm thrilled to be presenting 3 amazing categories that each exemplify the rich lived experiences of our community. In LGBTQ plus nonfiction, you'll learn about the history of drag and the history of queer television. Explore Black resilience, peruse a parent's guide to supporting their queer children, and delve into a collection of beautiful personal essays. Similarly, the nominees for bisexual nonfiction run the gamut from a handbook for bisexual men to collections of personal essays about creeps and boy sluts to a pair of memoirs or anti-memoirs that examine what it means to be a survivor. And finally, the bisexual fiction category will take you from Hollywood in the 1940s to modern campus life. It will then transport you across the country to New York City, where you'll spend time with a bookbinder at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and also visit an unusual wellness store before finally heading back to Los Angeles for a Lynchian fever dream. What do these books have in common? Not only are they well-deserved nominees tonight, but they each explore what it means to be queer in their own unique way, from their own unique perspectives. These are also all books that I wish existed when I was a kid growing up in a small town, doing my best to figure out where I belonged in a world that didn't seem very friendly to anyone who didn't conform. Fortunately, these books exist now, and it's my honor to present these 3 award categories. Here are the finalists for LGBTQ plus nonfiction.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Nonfiction are Black on Black, On Our Resilience and Brilliance in America by Daniel Black, Harlequin Trade Publishing, Hanover Square Press. Glitter and Concrete, A Cultural History of Drag in New York City by Alyssa Max Goodman, Harlequin Trade Publishing, Hanover Square Press. Hi Honey, I'm Homo by Matt Baum, Ben Bella Books. Otherwise by Julie Marie Wade, Autumn House Press. Out, a parent's guide to supporting your LGBTQIA+ kid through coming out and beyond, by John Sovek, LNFT. Jessica Kingsley, Publishers.
And the winner for LGBTQ plus nonfiction is Hi Honey, I'm Homo by Matt Baum.
Matt Baum.
Thank you so much. Gosh, I really want to thank everybody who very generously spoke to me for this book about breaking down barriers on television, for everybody who read it. Thanks to my editors, Rob Perlman and Leah Wilson, my agent, Lauren Abramo. I want to thank James, my partner, and my very best friend. And also, of course, to Lambda Literary for this award and for being a champion of queer literature for over 30 years. And also to acknowledge all of the inspiring writers who are here tonight, shining a light on queer accomplishments, queer strength, queer kindness, queer liberation, and most of all, queer joy. As somebody who writes about queer history a lot, I've seen a lot of attempts to deny us that joy and to deny our very existence sometimes. But the stories that we tell are how we understand our past and how we understand ourselves, how we understand the world. And that is a world that has always had queer people in it and always will. So I'm very grateful. Yeah. I'm very, very grateful to Lambda Literary and everybody here for ensuring that nobody will ever forget that. So I'm very proud of this award and even more proud to be here with you, celebrating our queer pride and our queer joy this month, every day, every moment. Thank you so much.
Matt Baum is a writer, podcaster, and video maker based in Seattle whose work focuses on pop culture and queer history. Matt was nominated for the GLAAD Award for Journalism. This is his first Lambda Literary Award. Congratulations, Matt.
And here are the finalists for bisexual nonfiction.
The finalists in Outstanding Bisexual Nonfiction are Bisexual Men Exist, a handbook for bisexual, pansexual, and M-spec men by Vinit Mehta, Jessica Kingsley Publishers. Boy Slut, a memoir and manifesto by Zachary Zane, Abrams Image. Accusations and Confessions by Miriam Gerba, Avid Reader Press. Crying Wolf by Eden Boudreau, Brookhart Press. Nimrods, a fake punk, self-hurt, anti-memoir by Majika Guillermo, Duke University Press.
And the winner for bisexual nonfiction is Creep, Accusations and Confessions by Miriam Gerba. This winner could not be here with us tonight, but congratulations all the same. And finally, here are the finalists for bisexual fiction.
The finalists in Outstanding Bisexual Fiction are All Night Pharmacy, and Haines by Jessica Saffron, Algonquin Books. Last Night at the Hollywood Cantina by Sarah James. Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. Old Enough by Haley Jacobson.
And the winner for bisexual fiction is Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Wang.
Ling Ling Wang is a violinist, writer, and passionate about expanding the concepts of tradition. Wang's Natural Beauty is being adapted into a series produced by Constance Wu and Drew Gomez. Congratulations.
Hi everyone, I am not Ling Ling. My name is Pilar Garcia Brown.
How dare you?
And I am Ling Ling's lucky editor, and I'm thrilled to accept this on her behalf. She sent me a few words, which I am delighted to read. Okay. It is an unbelievable honor to be a finalist and now winner for the bisexual fiction category of the Lambda Literary Awards. When I wrote Natural Beauty, I didn't think it would be read by other people. And while that was depressing, it also made me honest. I tried to write what I hadn't shared with other people, something that came close to the confusion and discovery of my own queerness, a character who eschewed labels that felt too big or scary or rigid for her, but whose desire was irrepressible. This character led me closer to myself. The book was published, and I suppose I came out. What I had previously left unsaid was suddenly inked and in the hands of all my friends and family. I'm so grateful for this book, which has made me live more honestly and deepened my relationship with myself and those I love. And it means more than I can say to have this experience recognized by the Lambda Literary Organization, which has nurtured and championed so many LGBTQIA authors and readers. I also want to say the biggest thank you to my incredible team at Dutton. This part is really awkward to read, particularly my brilliant editor, Pilar Garcia Brown, and my phenomenal agent, Kirby Kim, both of whom have changed my life in unimaginable ways. Thank you.
Did you know that almost all of Lambda's programs are staffed by a single person in a department? All of the work for the retreat, all of the work for the Lammies, all of the work for the review once upon a time. This year especially, we could not have done it without the work of our brilliant interns. Morgan Sammut and Emmanuel Henderson are here to present your poetry category.
You better walk, honey, walk.
Hey y'all, happy Pride. So first, I want to thank Lakeisha for putting this together, right? For Lambda, for the entire team coming out today. This was not an overnight thing, so just one more round of applause for our people, for our girl. And secondly, I am Gen Z, so I'm gonna go ahead and do one time for the one time. Thank y'all.
I also want to help out walk in.
As Palestinian American poet and 2021 Lambda Literary finalist George Abraham said in their interview with Them magazine, "Poems are giving language to the infinite unknown and unsayable. Language is all we have and it is not enough, but it's the best that we can do." By turning language on its head, rejecting its rules, dismantling and rebuilding it, it is our poets who create a world and a future beyond what we can imagine. First up for our poetry categories is LGBTQ plus poetry. And the finalists are
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Poetry are Lanternfly August by Robin Gow. devotional for the altar life by Destiny Pig by Sam Sachs. The Perfect Bastard by Quinn Carver Johnson. Tosca by Alina Kreskova.
And the winners for LGBTQ plus poetry is winners, y'all, plural versus singular, is The Perfect Bastard by Quinn Carver Johnson.
I grew up wearing costumes and sleeping under quilts that my grandma sewed because she loved us, but also because she was forced to create what her family wanted and needed with the scraps of fabric she had around. Like the perfect bastard, I grew up queer and poor in the dead center of the richest country on this earth. But through those costumes, through pro wrestling and later poetry, I learned that identity and the world are just realities that we create and recreate daily with the materials around us. With a few scraps of fabric, a few lines of poetry, you can change your identity, change the world. If you use your voice to cast down evil, people might listen. Thank you for listening. Thank you to my family, to my mom, my grandma, to Marissa Siegel and all the lovely folks at Northwestern and Curbstone, to Lambda Literary, and to all the poor and queer people of this earth who want to share my fate with you.
Here are the finalists for lesbian poetry.
The finalists in Outstanding Lesbian Poetry are Ardor by Elise Knorr, Gasser Press. Because You Were Mine by Brianne Genet, Haymarket Books. Couplets by Maggie Milner, Lar, Strauss, and Giroux. Dream of Xibalba by Stephanie Adams Santos. Orison Books. Teeter by Kimberly Alivio. Nightbook Books.
And the award for Outstanding Lesbian Poetry goes to... Okay, mine's a little stuck every single time, but that's okay. It's okay. Teeter by Kimberly Alidio.
Hi, Lambda. Thank you so much for recognizing Teeter for the Lesbian Poetry Award. I'm really, really delighted. I am very grateful for this recognition. And I've always really thought that perhaps Teeter was joining these conversations, these actual practices of listening across languages that one does not understand, and actually might be inviting spaces for solidarity for all of us to, wherever we are and however we can, to sort of join the sort of vibratory movement against settler colonialism, against carceral violence, against genocide. And so I want to dedicate this recognition to everyone out there, everyone wherever we are and however we can, to recognize that spirit, which I think is a spirit of lesbian poetry. So thank you, Lambda.
Here are the finalists for Outstanding Gay Poetry.
The finalists in Outstanding Gay Poetry are Hard Drive by Paul Stevenson, Peppermint. Homeland of My Body, New and Selected Poems by Richard Blanco, Beacon Press. Lovely Child by Emmanuel Henderson, Residency Press. Trace Evidence by Sharif Shanahan. What We Lost in the Swamp by Grant Schmidlin, Central Avenue Poetry.
Okay. Hey again, y'all. We're gonna do it the first time. The winner for the 2024 Outstanding Gay Poetry Award is gonna come out so much faster. Oh, period. Happy Pride. Trace Evidence by Sharif Shanahan.
Trace Evidence was a finalist for the National Book Critics Circle Award in Poetry and long-listed for the National Book Award of Poetry. Sharif Shanahan was a 2018 Lambda Literary Award finalist for Gay Poetry.
Wow, hi everybody. I'm so happy to be here tonight with you all. What a joy. I had something written, but I think I just want to say that this is amazing to me because poetry saved my life, queer people saved my life, queer love saved my life, and to see all of those forces, those loves, those experiences coming together tonight is really beautiful and means more than I can say. So I want to thank everybody at Lambda. I want to thank all the other poets that I was nominated with. It was an honor to be nominated alongside you. Everyone at Tin House, my family, my friends, my partner, Kellen, and really all of y'all, everybody in this room, nominated or not nominated, for being a part of what we can make together in community. So thank you so much and enjoy your night. Bye.
All right, and now for my people, here are the finalists for bisexual poetry.
The finalists in Outstanding Bisexual Poetry are A Film in Which I Play Everyone by Mary Jo Bang, Grey Wolf Press. Desire Museum by Danielle Cadena Dulan, OA Editions. Ephemera by Sierra de Molden, Button Poetry. Good Grief, The Ground by Margaret Ray, OA Editions. Impersonal Rainbow and the Bisexual Purge by Paul Philippines, Canadian Books.
And the winner of the 2024 Lammy Award for Outstanding Bisexual Poetry is Desire Museum by Danielle Cadena Dulan.
Danielle has garnered several prestigious awards throughout her career, including the Barrow Street Book Contest and the AWB Prize for Creative Nonfiction. She's also co-created and hosts Lit from the Basement, a literary podcast and radio show on K-Muse 100.7 FM.
This is the fanciest thing that has ever happened to me. I am wildly excited right now. I prepared a speech, which I'm going to go through really quickly. Thank you so much to Lambda for honoring me with this award.
at this amazing celebration. You are all beautiful. A huge thank you to the other finalists for their beautiful and moving work. It is an honor to have my name next to yours. This is my third poetry collection, and it was so personal, I thought nobody would even want to publish it. So thank you for proving my inner critic wrong. I want to thank my press, Boa Editions. Thank you to my family, Max, Mercer, and Miles, for their love and inspiration. Hi, Mama won an award. They're looking right now. Thank you to Dawn for her years of friendship and being my fabulous date, another bisexual poet here in the house. And finally, I want to express my gratitude to Jeffrey Davis for believing in me and this book, and for writing the poems that lit the path between us. Especially important to me are these lines from his poem, Crow. Often we were racked with unthinkable grief, and more sorrow is surely on its way, but we were blessed by something too. And today the soft light, the coarse tree with its crisp pods, the singing wind, and this absurd swell of gratitude for how you outlived the awful weight that fear can make of longing, which I've come to assure you we find bright ways to survive. Thank you very much.
And last but not least, one of my favorite words, trans, one that managed to go from a prefix into a noun, transition goals, if you will. Here are the finalists for transgender poetry.
The finalists in Outstanding Transgender Poetry are Hood Vacations by Michael M.J. Jones. Portraits as Animal. Poems by Victoriano Carcanos. Bloomsday Literary. Short film starring my beloved Red Bronco by Kay Ivan. Taking to Water by Jennifer Conlon. Autumn House Press. Transitory by Suvaga Crystal Bacon. BOA Editions.
And the winner of the 2024 Lammy Award in Outstanding Transgender Poetry is Hood Vacations by Michael M.J. Jones.
Hello, Lambda. This is Michael M.J. Jones. I'm here in Oakland, California. I'm so sorry I can't join you all in person, but I'm so deeply grateful, honored, and floored, frankly, to receive this award for my debut. My little book of poems, Hood Vacations, who I never could have imagined even the nomination, so I'm sending so much love and gratitude to my fellow nominees, to the judges, to the organizers of the Lammys. Thank you all so much. I think in a time that's filled with so much grief, it can be difficult to celebrate, but our narratives, especially as trans and gender nonconforming folks, have been a lifeline for me, and I know for so many of you. So thank you for your words. Thank you for resisting. Thank you for continuing to make your mark upon this world. We need it so desperately. Wishing for a world where our trans youth are loved and uplifted and are safe, for a free Palestine, a free Congo, freedom for all occupied territories. And I wish each and every one of you love and peace and gentleness. I wish you all the more queer and trans literature. Thank you so much, Lambda, and take care.
And now a word from the board.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. The board walks on and everybody goes quiet. I'm Darnell Moore.
I'm Michelle Herrera Mulligan.
As a Black queer writer whose work primarily centers on the lived experiences of Black, queer, trans, and gender nonconforming people, I remain acutely aware of the stakes at hand that might short-circuit my ability to reach the very people whose freedoms are at the heart of the works that I produce. I know that some teacher, some principal, or some school district right here in the US might be adamant about ensuring that my book, No Ashes in the Fire, Coming of Age Black and Free in America, might never land in the hands of the students for whom it might be a lifeline. I know because in some districts across the country, my book has been banned. This is why I'm forever grateful for and indebted to Lambda Literary, and more specifically, its LGBTQ+ writers in school program, helmed by the amazing Monica Carter and her team. Which made it possible for me to talk with hundreds of students across a range of New York City public schools who were provided access to my book. Without the support of that program, my book would have not been placed on the syllabi of the teachers, and the many inspiring and curious young people who engaged it would not have had the benefit of learning from it. In this period of overt retrenchment, access like that matters. And I'm emboldened even more to ensure that programs like it exist so that our young people and the institutions and caregivers in their orbit can never again refuse them the possibility of connecting to literature that might be the keys to their liberation.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So thank you, Darnell, for those beautiful words because they resonate very deeply for me. In case you don't know me, I'm a baby publisher. I just started my own imprint. Thank you. But being a publisher is actually about fighting a lot more than you might realize. I am acutely and intimately aware of exactly why the stakes for this organization's continued success could not even be higher. I'm already a publisher. You could say maybe I already have some sort of influence, but it wasn't enough for me. I wanted to be part of Lambda for a reason. As I'm sure you're aware, the attacks on LGBTQ+ books presence in schools and libraries has only amplified in the last year. 4,250 individual titles were banned in 2023. That number doubled from the year before. It's easy to become inoculated to the headlines, to even joke that a ban increases a book's underground appeal. Hell, I've even had a few authors that said, did I get banned? Buzz alert. But no. Make no mistake, these bans are affecting our authors' livelihoods. They're even tarnishing their enthusiasm for calling themselves authors in the first place. How many agents and editors in this very room right now have had to take that devastating call to tell their authors they're disinvited from speaking at a college, that they're disinvited to promote their work in front of audiences in schools? That's their lifeblood. I've watched authors lose their livelihood. This is serious. The authors are hearing that retail demand for their books has gone down due to controversy or, quote, community backlash. At a time when the independent booksellers that have celebrated our books for decades are shutting down. The truth is that books aren't just about telling stories or entertaining ourselves at the beach. Research shows that positive representation in schools, in libraries, on television, and everywhere where we consume media lowers suicide risk. Affirming our identities quite literally saves lives, personally and professionally. Y'all, the stakes couldn't be higher. Please support Lambda generously today. That's what I'm here to tell you. Supporting our children's stories builds the path to all of our collective future. Thank you.
Our next presenter is Edgar Gomez. Here to present the awards for gay and lesbian memoir, biography, and LGBTQ+ drama. Edgar Gomez is the author of High Risk Homosexual. I like saying it like that. High Risk Homosexual. Which received an American Book Award, a Stonewall Israel Fishman Honor Award, and the Lambda Literary Award for Gay Memoir. Their sophomore book, Alligator Tears, will be out in February 2025. Here's Edgar Gomez.
Hi, everybody. Happy Pride. This is such a special night. I just want to take a second to be like, oh my God, this is so cool. You know, look at all these gay people. I'm so honored to be here tonight to celebrate queer literature with y'all. If you can't tell by my whole vibe, I was born in Florida. Which is a place that I love so deeply, but that also loves to embarrass me. Most recently for leading the country in banning books by queer authors. Yeah, I got serious for a second. When I think about young queer baby Floridian me, I don't know where I would be if I didn't have access to a library or to queer stories that made me feel a little bit less alone. But if there's one thing that makes me, I guess not feel good, but gives me hope about these queer book bans, it's knowing that they're not banning our books because they are so confident and secure in who they are. They're banning our books because they're scared. Yeah. They're scared about all the progress we're making. They're scared about the world changing and leaving them behind. And they're scared because they know that us telling our stories is more than just putting words down on a page. It is us taking back control of our narratives and telling our truths. And we're not just telling our truths for ourselves, but for the queer kids out there who depend on us to show them the way. The finalists tonight for lesbian memoir, gay memoir, and drama tell the truth about who we are and who we always have been. From a vibrant biography about legendary blues singer Willie Mae Thornton, to a memoir chronicling the world of addiction in the Bay Area, to a play about a queer Southern Black man haunted by his father's ghost at a family barbecue. You know you want to read that. The stories tonight show us what can happen when queer people stop being afraid and do what we do best, which is fight back, resist, and tell our truth. Yeah. And here are the finalists for lesbian memoir.
The finalists in Outstanding Lesbian Memoir and Biography are Hijab Butch Blues by The Diet Press, Lesbian Love Story, a Memoir in Archives by Amelia Presenza, Catapult, Suicide, the Autoimmune Disorder of the Psyche by V.P. Now, 1111 Press. To Name the Bigger Lie by Sarah Verini. Scrivener. Why Willie Mae Thornton Matters by Lene Denise. The University of Texas Press.
And the winner of lesbian memoir / biography is Lesbian Love Story, a memoir in archives by Emilia Pozanza.
This is Emilia Pozanza's debut book and was named a Best Book of 2023 by NPR, Shelf Awareness, and Publishers Weekly. Emilia is also a dedicated author for Lambda Literary's Writers in Schools program.
Wow, it's really bright up here. I want to thank Lambda for this and for all of their programs. I love doing Writers in Schools with you all every year. And to Catapult, my publisher, I love being part of a publisher that has so many finalists tonight. That makes me really, really happy. And to the many writers who inspired me, all of you sitting here in this room, all of you in my category, and to all the archivists who do really, really boring work to maintain all of this stuff so that I can go and be a nerd about it. And I also want to thank Joan Nessel specifically, who is the, who is the co-founder of the Lesbian History Archives, but it sounds like I don't need to tell you all that. And I was lucky enough to get to do an interview with her for this book, and she reminded me that to be a lesbian is to stand for liberation, and to be a Jewish lesbian is to stand for Palestinian liberation. Thank you.
All right, y'all. And here are the finalists for Gay Memoir / Biography.
The finalists for Outstanding Gay Memoir and Biography are Leading Lady by Charles Bush, Ben Bella Books. Leg, The Story of a Limb and the Boy Who Grew From It by Greg Marshall, Abrams Press. Mother, Nature by Jedediah Jenkins, Virgin Books. Reaching 90 by Martin Duberman, Chicago Review Press. Tweaker World by Jason Yanis, Unnamed Press.
And the winner of Gay Memoir / Biography is Tweaker World by Jason Yamas.
Jason Yamas is a queer writer, producer, director, and actor. Tweaker World was created to shine a light on the worsening epidemic of the crystal meth in the LGBTQ plus community. This is Jason's first Lambda Literary Award.
Oh my God! I felt so silly writing this. I did not think I would get to read it. I'm so happy I get to. I am so honored to be in this category with Jedediah and Martin and Charles and Greg. I read all of your memoirs and loved them all. Thank you so much for your inspiration. Oh my gosh, this journey has had magnificent hurdles. I'm going to read my speech. I queried over 50 agents. I got my last rejection in March, 5 years after sending it. My first agent fired me because when her boss read it, he said that the protagonist was unlikable. I'm not joking. Oh my gosh. My second agent quit right after selling the book. My acquiring editor left the publisher right after acquiring it. It's been a bumpy road, but I've had such incredible support too. My agent Laura is here. Thank you. You have made less money for me as a client than your hotel cost tonight. I'm sure of that. Oh, thank you, Unnamed, Chris, who helped me get it to where it is, and Olivia, who gave a chance on a meth orgy book. Oh. And Lambda, you have sincerely cured a fragment of my imposter syndrome tonight. Honestly, you know, I'm not proud of a lot of the decisions I made in addiction, but I am really fucking proud of writing about them and shining a light on the meth epidemic that nobody is talking about. We need more stories about this. It's crazy. It's crazy. I had a little anecdote about how my first draft was 330,000 words and how I met with Sarah Schulman and she was like, cut 80% of it. That was her piece of advice. But yes, Sarah. But because I don't want to take forever, but I have to read this part. Okay, I'm going to read this. And while on the subject of activism, in Tweaker World, I ask my readers to open their minds and hearts in regards to addiction, but my memoir is mainly a personal narrative. I avoided anything prescriptive or preachy, as I've never found it is my job to tell other people how to live their lives. That said, when we as artists are living in a society paying taxes to a government that continues to fund a mass genocide out of plain and simple, obvious as day racism, I believe it is our duty to scream and fight. I don't share about this on Instagram, but if I told myself if I was given this platform, I was gonna take a fucking second to do so. Because we can be made to feel so powerless, but we, especially in this room, as literary finalists, people are listening. Speak! Scream! It's unconscionable cruelty. It has to end. We have to make our voices heard, my God. But anyway, back to me. Thank you so much.
All right, child. And finally, the finalists for the category of drama are...
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Drama are Fat Ham by James Imes, Theater Communications Group. For Both Resting and Breeding by Adam Meisner, Scirocco Drama, J. Gordon Shillingford Publishing. I Wanna Fuck Like Romeo and Juliet by Annual Lambda Samuel French, a Concord Theatricals company. Joan of Arkansas by Milo Whitman, Ugly Duckling Press. The Bandaged Place by Harrison David Rivers, Samuel French, a Concord Theatricals company.
And the winner of LGBTQ plus drama is... I'm pretending to open an envelope, but I already did it. Fat Ham by James Imes. I don't see James coming, so congratulations to him. And moving along. Yeah.
James couldn't be with us tonight, but thank you so much on James's behalf. Here to present the awards for LGBTQ plus speculative fiction, comics, yes, excited, honey. Comics and mystery is Danny Lore. Danny is a non-binary black writer from Harlem and the Bronx. They helped create Bloodline for Marvel Comics, as well as writing for a myriad of other companies. In prose, they wrote Nevermind with Janelle Monáe, yes, and which was included in the anthology The Memory Librarian. Please welcome Danny Lore.
Hello, everyone.
Closer to the mic. Closer to the mic.
As a science fiction and fantasy writer, weird is probably the greatest compliment I can give to any work. And for me, queer creators embody the weird. We exist in and create spaces that celebrate the very things the world around us attempts to define out of existence. In that way, we are shapeshifters and shape makers. This block of nominees are some of the best that the weird has to offer. Within speculative prose, their words weave magic or sufficiently advanced enough science to make sense of the strangeness of the human condition. In one nominated work, they offer us cyberpunk noir comedy. In another, the shadows of a surveillance state literally follow us home. And three of them offer still perspectives on the divine, a robotic god, hunter of devils, and even the magic of the culinary world. Comics, paradoxically, don't you love when you can read the words you wrote? I'm a writer, not a reader. Don't quote that.
I already tweeted it.
It's okay, I'll quote tweet it and misspell everything in it. That's what you get for letting me loose without my editor. Comics expand our worlds by exploring the confines of a panel. Their weirdness is framed quite literally in the ways that bold lines and the breaking of them control time and space. One nominee offers us up in the utilization and removal of color to weave a mystery. Another in the perfect timing of a high school rom-com. One celebrates the forming of a community built on our shared weirdness. Another, how a change of location can make even the familiar stranger than before. And another still, has a trans man strike a deal with a devil for the freedom they both seek. The final category of this block looks towards those which seek answers in the weirdness. Mystery, perhaps less obviously than the previous two categories, has always been about the way our normal has been shaken, and those that explore what comes after that. We are here to celebrate the stubborn investigator and her ex who are up against a fearful society, as well as those friends who clash with a world that sensationalizes a true crime that hits close to home. We honor the woman determined to solve the small towns and her own dark history. The Southern detective who rejects the idea that trans lives are expendable, and the Minnesotan acting sheriff who has to commit to the mystery or fade into the background. Here are the finalists for LGBTQ+ speculative fiction.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Speculative Fiction are Bang Bang Bodhisattva by Aubrey Wood, Solaris, I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself, a novel by Marissa Crane, Catapult, The Archive Undying by Emma Miyako Camden, Tor.com Publishing. The Saint of Bright Doors by Vajra Chandrasekhar, Tor.com Publishing. The Thick and the Lean by Hannah Porter, Saga Press.
Tonight's winner of the 2024 Lammy Award in Outstanding LGBTQ+ Speculative Fiction is I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself, a novel by Marissa Crane.
I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself was a January Indie Next Pick and New York Times Editor's Choice. Marissa's stories and essays have appeared in Lit Hub, Joyland, and more.
I'm not Mac. I'm their editor, but I love this book so much, and I love Mac, and I'm really honored to have had a part in bringing it into the world. So I will read the speech that they prepared. Thank you so much, Lambda Literary, for selecting I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself. It means the world to me, and it feels appropriate that my editor, Alicia Kroll, is accepting this award on my behalf, because this book would be nothing without their keen editorial eye, intelligence, and care. Very cool to read that. Thank you to Catapult for championing this book. Thank you to my agent, Maggie Cooper, for being a real one. Thank you to everyone who has read it and shared it. But enough about my book. I want to talk about liberation, which is not only possible in our lifetime, it will happen. Free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo, free Haiti, free West Papua, free Hawaii, free all colonized and oppressed nations and people. In the words of Lou Sullivan, yours in liberation, Matt Crane, thank you.
Here are our finalists for LGBTQ plus comics.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Comics are A Guest in the House by Emily Carroll. First, second. Belle of the Ball by Mari Costa. First, second. Blackword by Lawrence Lindale. Drawn and quarterly. Roaming by Jillian Tamaki, Mariko Tamaki. Drawn and quarterly. The Chromatic Fantasy by H.A. Silver Sprocket.
And the winner for the 2024 Lammy Award in Outstanding LGBTQ plus comics is A Guest in the House by Emily Carroll. This winner could not be here with us tonight, but congratulations anyway. Oh, so, I love a script change. Let's go. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Carol Valdez. I'm one of the editors in I Guess in the House. M did not give me anything to say, but I'm assuming they're very grateful. Personally, it's been an honor to work with M. M is like a gem and a joy in the comics community, so it's very nice that Lambda granted them this award, so thank you so much.
And here are the finalists for LGBTQ plus mystery.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Mystery are A Calculated Risk by Carrie Hunter, Bold Strokes Books. Don't Forget the Girl by Rebecca McCanna, Source Books Landmark. The Good Ones by Polly Stewart, HarperCollins Publishers. Transitory by J.M. Redman, Bold Strokes Books. Where the Dead Sleep by Joshua Moling, Poisoned Pen Press.
And the winner for 2024 Lammy Award in Outstanding LGBTQ plus mystery is A Calculated Risk by Carrie Hunter.
A Calculated Risk is Carrie's 10th novel, making her a 3-time Lambda Literary Award winner. She's a full-time paramedic who loves to dream up stories in her spare time.
Hi, it's me again. I'm just grabbing random awards now. Carrie is not here. She couldn't be here tonight. She is across the pond in the UK, but she says she wants to send a very quick thank you to Bold Strokes Books, especially Radcliffe, Sandy, and her editor, Cindy. They have never tried to stop me from writing the broadest of British. To Lambda for the award and for their work, and to her wife, Kat, who's always loved her, no matter what. Cheers.
Got it? Yep. Hi, everyone. My name is Harper Zaharias. You may recognize me from your inbox.
I believe that's the first time I've ever heard your last name.
Yes, it is pronounced that way. The C is silent. All right, so thank you everybody for being here this evening. First, I want to take a moment to acknowledge all the folks who made this night possible. Thank you to our generous donors, of which there are too many to name, and to our sponsors for the evening, Spotify and Macmillan, Simon & Schuster, the Shipman Agency, the This Is Home Project, the Poetry Foundation, Penguin Random House, the Marta Heflin Foundation, Levine Querido, Catapult, and HarperCollins. When most of the country would rather sweep our stories under the rug, you all have put your money where your mouth is, and you have shown the world how critical LGBTQ literature is. So for that, thank you. I'm here this evening to announce some of our special prizes alongside Elle. So first, I want to announce our Publishing Professionals Award. Typically, this award has gone to a bookstore, an editor, an agent. Recently, Lambda Literary has been thinking a lot about how best to honor the incredible folks who help queer and trans writers reach more audiences across wider mediums. We've partnered with Spotify to make that happen this year as part of an effort to better integrate audiobooks and folks in the audiobook industry into our work. So if you're a queer audiobook listener, you've probably become pretty familiar with this narrator. They've even worked on some of this year's finalists. Lambda Literary and Spotify are proud to present Nikki Endres with the Publishing Professionals Award this year. And there we go. You got it?
Hi, this is Nikki Endres, coming to you from Los Angeles. Thank you so much. I wish I could be there with you all. Thank you, Lambda Literary, and thank you, Spotify. You know, I think that too many people tend to wait for permission to be themselves, waiting to feel safe before they can be authentic. And I think the gift LGBTQIA+ people have, for better or for worse, is how profoundly we understand that particular part of the human condition. The fear, the anxiety, the pain, and also the beauty, the community, the courage, the existential joy, the pride. I became an artist, an actor, a storyteller, to be the kind of leader I needed as a kid, an emotional leader. I want to share my strength with others so that they may nurture the strength inside of themselves. Sometimes we just need affirmation that who we are is possible. And for me, a gender-expansive queer person, using my figurative and literal, non-binary trans voice to bring literature into the auditory dimension and to bring queer stories to broader audiences, it's been especially rewarding and connecting. Nothing is so human as our voices. And so to be recognized for my work in audiobooks among fellow queer folks, artists, and storytellers, I feel affirmed. And I feel grateful. Thank you to the authors, publishers, mentors, and colleagues that make narrating audiobooks such incredibly fun and fulfilling work for me. Collaborating to make literature more accessible and diverse is not just important for me personally, but is important and affirming for humanity as a whole. Congratulations to all the finalists and award winners tonight. Thank you, Lambda Literary, and thank you, Spotify. I am truly, truly honored.
Next up, I would love to announce two of this year's inaugural iterations of a couple of our awards. The first is the Denny Award for Editorial Excellence, which is named in honor of Michael Denny, who founded the first queer imprint at a major publishing house, who was essential in the publishing of literature dealing with HIV and AIDS, and who generously shared his talents with writers right up until the end of his life. This award, sponsored by one of our kind donors, Tom Equals, goes to an editor whose commitment to the publication of queer writers and literature contributes significantly to the advancement of the LGBTQ community. This award is unique in that it goes to somebody, it not only recognizes the support provided by the editors to the community, but also the importance of the editors in the advancement of a social movement. This award goes to Remy Rakia. Zipping up, zipping up. Ah, there we go. Here you go.
Right here.
You can, yeah. All right. And then the second award that I have the honor of announcing is the Pat Holt Prize for Critical Arts Writing, which is presented in memory of Pat Holt, obviously, and honors critical writing on the arts and literature. The award goes to an LGBTQ arts critic or literary reviewer committed to examining queer works of art and culture, as Holt groundbreakingly did for 16 years. It is made possible by the Lesbians for Good Foundation, a fund of the Horizons Foundation, and goes to Elizabeth Hoover.
Next up in our special prizes, the Jean Cordova Prize for Lesbian and Queer Nonfiction this year goes to Stephanie Davies. There you are. You're welcome. Stick around. The Randall Keenan Prize for Black LGBTQ Fiction goes to Liv Little. Thank you. The J. Michael Samuel Prize for Emerging Writers Over 50 goes to Paul Festa. The first of our Jim Duggins PhD Outstanding Mid-Career Novelist Prizes go to K.M. Sonling. Did I just destroy your name? Did I say your name right?
So long.
I'm sorry.
No, it's great. So nice to meet you.
You too. The second Jim Duggan Prize goes to Dr. Zelda Lockhart. I love your necklace. The first of our two Judith A. Markowitz Awards for exceptional new LGBTQ writers goes to Federico Arabia. You can thank Federico for helping pack up your gift bags tonight. And the second Judith Markowitz Prize goes to River Dandelion. Congratulations. All right. Group photos, say cheese, say gay, say something. Say something so the man can take the picture.
Oh, that's good. All right.
Thank you all. This past weekend, we hosted an Emerge reading for our 2023 Retreat Fellows at Henrietta Hudson. It was a standing room only event. There was so much love in the room, and one of the standout performances was from River Dandelion, who was a fellow with us last year. And we thought that it would be fitting, given the state of his performance then, to share it with the Lammy's audience here.
I have remarks for the sake of time. Do I have time for the poem or not?
Go for it.
Go for it? Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. I have some remarks, but I wanted to first open with a poem. Do you all want to hear a poem from me tonight? So this poem, I would say, is dedicated to anyone who specifically is looking for guidance in their life and looking for a connection to ancestors. My love, we have traversed too many waters to sink this ship now. My love, we have known longer voyages on seas where we forgot the soft embrace of soil on knees, my love. We have helmed too many storms to run from raindrops thundering caverns now, my love. The last time you allowed your craters to be caressed, you quivered like aspen. No wind, just eyes, and the brush of hand against hull. And even though the lighting of flame is distant memory, there is too big a flock calling you forward to turn back now. Here, take this blanket. Don't let your skin eat itself dry. Even tossed peanut husks are sustenance for snails. There are still city deer waiting to greet you in park meadows, blazed dawns when you set sail. Ancestors whose names and knots have yet to be undone. My love, let melted earth dust meld with your unnamed skin. Darling, the softest part of you is everywhere. Monarchs dare brush. Thank you. Thank you so much to Lambda for this award. It's an honor to be here with you all. As I stand before you today to receive this award, I think about all of the queer trans writers before me. Specifically, the ones who have given up on writing, the ones who don't believe in themselves, the ones who industry does not quite accept. I think about everyone who didn't make it, the ones who are far from events like these. And the reason I'm here today is I have stopped asking the question, why me? Or rather, I have long stopped letting that question dictate my actions and choices. As a writer, I'm existing in a time when so many literary institutions are choosing to not take a stance in a time of genocide. And as a writer, I find myself walking tight ropes of contradiction. Today, it's an honor to accept this award because this award is an award of legacy. And I'd like to share with you the legacies that I walk in. The legacy I walk in is that of abolition. I walk in a legacy of ethnic studies, of Black feminism, of grassroots organizing to change a nation that first had its apocalypse 532 years ago. I stand before you here today as a trans writer of the Toisanese diaspora called Exceptional. And the truth is, I am not exceptional. And that's because I'm part of a collective of people, of community, bio and chosen, of ancestors bio and chosen, who have paved the road for me long before I knew I was looking for one. I like to say I was emerging in elementary school when my mom, shout out to my mother, first handed me a marble notebook and she told me to write. I looked at her from the kitchen table while she was cooking and I asked her, what do I write about? She said, anything. And I have been writing anything since. I think about how Audre Lorde and Toni Morrison would perhaps tell me to accept this award with pride and to not forget as I rise to make room for someone else to walk through the doors opening. I hope one day to open the doors to see a free Palestine. I hope one day to be able to get on a plane and help rebuild Gaza. I hope to be part of a society where all trans people have free access to healthcare, where gender dysphoria is a diagnosis of the past, where we no longer police each other. I hope one day to see a city, this very one in which I was born and raised, finally close Rikers and halt its plan to build borough-based jails. I'm not a politician, but a writer. And when Grace Lee Boggs asks, what time is it on the clock of the world? I answer, it's freedom time. I come to you from my world and perhaps our world, where trans people are magic, where trans women are some of the bravest people I know, where trans people teach me how to walk in unshakable dignity, self-belief, and love, despite. In my world, and perhaps in our worlds, trans people are medicine makers, teachers, artists, and in this world, police and prisons have already been abolished, Palestine already free, which means we are too. I proudly accept this award today in the legacy of Audre Lorde, of James Baldwin, of Gloria Anzaldúa, of Grace Lee Boggs, of June Jordan, of Rafat Al-Rair, of Leilene Extravaganza Kubelet Polanco, of Tortuguita, and of Next Benedict. I accept this award today in the name of a free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo, free Tigray, free Haiti, free West Papua, free Uyghur population. Until freedom comes, still I, still we live it. With the sacredness of all that lies in between, thank you.
Here to present the awards for LGBTQ+ Anthology and LGBTQ+ Studies is Bill Goldstein, who reviews books and interviews authors for NBC's Weekend Today in New York, and was the founding editor of the New York Times books website. He's writing a biography of Larry Kramer to be published by Crown, and is working on the book as a 2023-2024 fellow at the Leon Levy Center for Biography at CUNY Graduate Center. Here is Bill Goldstein.
At least I don't need a box like I did at my bar mitzvah. I'm honored to be asked to present 2 awards tonight in the category of LGBTQ Anthology and also in LGBTQ Studies. These categories seem especially to encapsulate how much thrilling and groundbreaking work is being done by LGBTQIA writers, and how many groundbreaking LGBTQIA writers there are working today. When I came out, I won't specify the year, but it did have a 7 in it. There were gay and lesbian bookstores around the country, including in Greenwich Village, which wasn't far from the subway I took into Manhattan from where I grew up in Brooklyn, in Sheepshead Bay. But I didn't know that they existed. Now, though there are fewer queer bookstores, the blessing is that there are so many more queer books, and so many more queer writers at work openly than there have ever been. There are 5 finalists in each of the 2 categories I'm presenting, but there are more than 50 writers represented in these books, which are published by 9 different presses, and one is triumphantly self-published. The astonishing and wonderful gains in the sheer variety and availability of queer books, of course we all know by now that there are 26 categories in which Lambda Literary Awards are being presented tonight, come at an increasingly dangerous moment politically and culturally. And yet by celebrating openness and profusion, we are making a statement and undertaking our attack and our counterattack. I bought my first 2 gay books at the Remainder table at Barnes & Noble on 5th Avenue in the summer of 1980. Faggots by Larry Kramer and The Joy of Gay Sex by Dr. Charles Silverstein and Edmund White. I realized as I was writing these remarks that those books certainly announced themselves. It was a decisive moment of courage for me to realize I didn't care if the clerk at the cash register would know I was gay. I also realized in that moment that they probably wouldn't care and that it would likely register with them as just another sale that day if they even noticed the books or me. To stand here tonight to announce and to congratulate the winners in 2 of 26 gorgeously crowded categories of LGBTQ literary achievement enables me to see that in the larger perspective of the last 5 decades, the true courage is a shared one. In part that of the brilliantly talented writers we are recognizing today for doing their work, and in part that of the queer readers who need these writers and their books and seek them out. A mutual exchange of support and honor in which the Lambda Literary Awards have played a defining and central role. So, here are the categories in the finalists in the category of LGBTQ Anthology.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Anthology are Too Trans, Too Furious, an extremely serious journal of transgender street racing studies by Tuck Woodstock and Nico Stratus. Rapid Onset Gender Distro, self-published. A Pill for Promiscuity, Gay Sex in an Age of Pharmaceuticals. Edited by Andrew R. Spieldenner and Jeffrey Escoffier. Rutgers University Press. Being Ace, an anthology of queer, trans, femme, and disabled stories of asexual love and connection. Edited by Madeline Dyer. Page Street Publishing. Page Street YA. Fairy Tale Review, The Rainbow Issue, by Benjamin Schaefer, Wayne State University Press. Rosalind's Siblings, fiction and poetry celebrating scientists of marginalized genders. Edited by Booty Douglas. Athos Arts.
And the winner of the 2024 Lammy Award in Outstanding LGBTQ Anthology is Too Trans, Too Furious.
Go ahead, read it, baby.
An extremely serious journal of transgender street racing studies, edited by Tuck Woodstock and Nico Stratus.
Tuck Woodstock is a journalist, educator, and host of an award-winning podcast, Gender Reveal. Tuck is also a co-founder of Sylvian Consulting, where he provides editorial guidance for clients like Sony Pictures. Congratulations.
This is so funny. What a funny choice to make. We talk a lot about firsts as a community, and I don't want to be presumptuous, but I feel like this is probably the first time that a Fast and Furious name generator has won a prestigious gay literary award, and I want you to all really appreciate this moment of history. I do genuinely, that's a joke, but I do genuinely feel what queer and trans artists need right now, in addition to rights and money and whatever, is the opportunity to make weird shit and just really unserious things, we don't need everything to have stakes. And I made this project with my friends for fun. And so there were more than 40 contributors. We couldn't have done it without them. Please imagine me breaking the award into 40 pieces and throwing it to all of them, kind of Mean Girls style. And the biggest piece would go to my co-editor, Nico Stratus, who is unfortunately in Toronto right now. But if any of you have the opportunity to work with Nico, jump at the chance no matter what it is. She's the absolute best. So thank you to Nico. Thank you to all 40 of our contributors. And I thank you to Casey and Kat at Little Puss and Shay Merck and everyone else who taught us how to make a book, print a book, distribute the book. We did all of this by ourselves and we just kind of made it up as we went along. And so thank you to everyone for the support. And lastly, I just want to say that several several of our contributors chose to donate their portion of the proceeds. We were shocked we had proceeds, but we did, and so we donated their portion to the Middle Eastern Children's Alliance as well as the Trans Asylum Seekers Support Network. And so I just want to take this moment to say, obviously, we have unequivocally support for a free Palestine, not just an immediate ceasefire, but also true liberation, reparations, and the ability for everyone everywhere to make little shitposts as a treat if they want to. So free Palestine, solidarity forever. Thank you.
And the award, the Lammy Award for Outstanding LGBTQ Studies goes to the I'm like Faye Dunaway or something.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Studies are Ambivalent Affinities, A Political History of Blackness and Homosexuality After World War II, by Jennifer Dominique Jones, University of North Carolina Press. Care Without Pathology, How Trans Health Activists Are Changing Medicine, by Christoph Hansman, University of Minnesota Press. Queer Career, Sexuality and Work in Modern America, by Margot Canaday, Princeton University Press. Sexuality and the Rise of China, the Post-1990s Gay Generation in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Mainland China, by Travis S. K. Kong, Duke University Press. The Sexual Politics of Empire, Post-Colonial Homophobia in Haiti, by Aaron L. Durbin, University of Illinois Press.
I'm now opening the envelope. The winner of the 2024 Lammy Award in Outstanding LGBTQ Studies is The Sexual Politics of Empire, Post-Colonial Homophobia in Haiti by Aaron L. Durbin.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry that I can't be there with you in person. As you watch this, I'm halfway around the world in Japan. But I'm so disappointed that I can't accept this award in person, especially since I would love to get the autographs of those of you whose books I've read across the many Lammy categories, for myself, with my students, and with my daughter, Fen. The most important thing that I want to say is that this award is really for the LGBTI Haitian activists and artists who invited me to do the research in the book and share their stories and struggles with audiences outside of Haiti. And I took them up on their invitation because I want activists based in the United States to think differently about how they conduct human rights work around the world. It means the world to me that the Lambda Literary Awards Committee saw value in the work that we have all done together. Thank you very much.
Casey McQuiston is here to present the Kid Lit categories: children's books, middle grade, and young adult. Casey is a #1 New York Times bestselling author of queer romantic comedies, including Red, White, and Royal Blue, One Last Stop and The Pairing, One Last Stop and The Pairing, whose writing has been published in the New York Times, Bon Appetit, and Washington Post. Originally from Southern Louisiana, Casey now lives in New York City. Welcome, Casey McQuiston.
Hi, I am so happy to be in a room full of gay people right now. This is also, I love gay awards because everybody looks insane, and I mean that as a compliment. You look incredible, guys. All right. Like many of the presenters and writers who have spoken tonight, at a very early age, I came to love fiction as a portal out of a world where queerness seemed almost impossible. As you heard, I grew up in southern Louisiana, like many of you indoor kids skulking around the aisles of my local Barnes & Noble, looking for somewhere to belong. I didn't know yet that I was looking for somewhere outside of straightness, outside of the gender binary, but I did know I was looking for something much bigger than the world I knew. Kid Lit was the first place that I found that. It's a place that allowed me to expand, to imagine that feeling different or out of place did not mean I was made wrong, but that I was special or magical or destined to ride a dragon one day or to score my dream prom date. What a revelation that was, and still is, for so many queer and trans kids today. And now more than ever, I think we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to librarians and educators.
Yeah, I got you.
They're fighting to get books into the hands of the kids who need them. And of course, I feel especially thankful for the writers who continue, despite all odds and pushback, despite every manufactured moral panic, to create stories that these kids need. Somewhere in some library in America right now, in those precious hours of after-school freedom, a kid is sliding a book off a shelf that could change their life. Maybe the character on the cover looks like them. Maybe the narrator inside the pages feels things that they didn't know other people felt. Maybe that kid has never imagined being the main character of a story with a happy ending before now. Or maybe this book will simply make them feel seen and understood. No matter what, that moment of discovery was made possible by writers like the following nominees. Here are the finalists for Outstanding LGBTQ+ Children's Books.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Children's Books are The Apartment House on Poppy Hill by Nina LaCour, illustrated by Sonia Albert. Chronicle Books. Door by Door by Meeg Pincus and Meredith McKeon Gimbel. Crown Books for Young Readers. Gender Identity for Kids by Andy Bashir. Little Brown Books for Young Readers. Granddad's Pride by Harry Woodgate. Little Bee Books. The Wishing Flower by A.J. Irving and Kip Alizodeh. Knopf Books for Young Readers.
And the winner is The Apartment House on Poppy Hill by Nina LaCour.
Nina LaCour is the best-selling and Michael L. Prince award-winning author of Picture Books, a chapter book series, young adult novels, and adult literary fiction. Her novel We Are Okay was named one of Time Magazine's top 100 YA novels of all time.
Gosh, this is so exciting. Thank you so much. I did not prepare a speech, but I did write down a few tiny notes as I was very nervous at the table. Thank you so much, Lambda Literary. Thank you to Chronicle Books for publishing this. Thank you to the illustrator, Sonia Albert, who brought the whole community in the series to life. Thank you so much to my agent, Sarah Crow, who has been with me for like 20 years and is just the most incredible champion. I live with my wife and our daughter in San Francisco, and we live in an apartment house, and we live in Bernal Hill, not Poppy Hill, but we live in a city, in a neighborhood that is surrounded by queerness and all of its beauty and expansiveness, and I am so honored and proud to be a parent among a community where we tell our children that they won't ever even have to come out because we have no presumptions about who they are, who they love, what their gender identity is. We are here for their journeys and how they come to understand themselves, and I think that is the most special gift that we can give to our children, to honor them for exactly who they are. And I hope that this book makes every child feel warm and embraced by the queer community and the world. And of course, as I talk about children, I have to think about the children in Palestine who are suffering so much, and my heart goes to them. And I wish a loving future for all kids and all people. I hope to free Palestine. I hope that all of our children can feel safe and secure. So thank you so much for this award. Thank you again.
Here are the finalists for Outstanding LGBTQ+ Middle Grade.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Middle Grade are Dear Mothman by Robin Gao, Amulet Books. Ellie Engel Saves Herself by Leah Johnson, Disney Hyperion. Just Lizzie by Karen Wilfred, HarperCollins, Clarion Books. Mateo by Michael Leali, HarperCollins. The Beautiful Something Else by Alder Van Otterloo, Scholastic Press.
And the winner is Dear Mothman by Robin Gao.
Robin Gao is a poet, educator, editor, and author who is passionate about queer and disability justice. Faye is also a 2024 finalist in the LGBTQ poetry category for Lanternfly August.
Hello. I didn't let myself write a speech because I didn't think that I could win. And so that's a thing that I'm grappling with right now as I'm staring at all of you. I am so infinitely grateful to my agent, Jordan, who always has believed in my stories. You've been with me this whole time. I'm so thankful to Lambda for this award. I'm so thankful to my editor, Erica, who really helped shape this story. I'm thankful to Rain, my partner, who's here with me, who is amazing and always supports me. Thank you to Spotify also for having an audiobook platform. I think that audiobooks make books so much more accessible. This book is for all the weird, autistic, trans kids who don't always see themselves represented in books. There wasn't a lot of queer books that I had access to as a kid, but I always loved monster stories, and that's why I wanted to tell a story about a trans kid and a monster Mothman. I want to end by saying I think it is our duty as writers of books for kids to always advocate for kids across the world. I dream of a time when kids in Palestine would be able to read books like mine. I know that it's not a time right now, but I really hope that we can come together and that we can really do something. If you check the link in my Instagram bio, I'm trying to fundraise for families in Gaza, so please check it out. The family that I'm raising money for has an autistic son, and I can't imagine what that's like. So thank you so much.
And here are the finalists for Outstanding LGBTQ+ Young Adult Novel.
The finalists in Outstanding LGBTQ Young Adult are Rose by Maxine Ray. Flux. Only This Beautiful Moment by Abdi Nazemian. HarperCollins, Balzer and Bray. Pretty by Keith F. Miller, Jr. HarperCollins, Harper Teen. That Self-Same Metal, The Forge and Fracture Saga, Book 1, by Brittany N. Williams, Amulet Books. The Wicked Bargain, by Gabe Cole Navoa, Random House Books for Young Readers.
And the winner is Only This Beautiful Moment by Abdi Nazemian.
Abdi has written for 3 television shows and 6 produced films. His novel, The Walk-In Closet, won the 2015 Lambda Literary LGBT Debut Fiction Award. Abdi is also a proud author for Lambda Literary's Writers in Schools program.
Wow, I'm shaking. I was too superstitious to write a speech, so this will be messy. I wrote my first book, The Walk-In Closet. It came out in 2014. I wrote it because I was really tired as a screenwriter working in Hollywood for a decade of only writing Iranian and queer stories and having them turn into samples that would get me work writing non-Iranian, non-queer stories. And no publisher would publish it. I self-published it. I did not submit it for a Lambda Award. Someone contacted me to say, why haven't you submitted your book? And I'm like, because it's a self-published book nobody's ever gonna read. And it ended up winning the Lammy for Best Debut. And this is really the truth. I don't know if I ever would have written another book had I not won that Lambda. That book was kind of a one-off for me. And when I won that, it felt like the world was telling me to keep going, and I told myself, because I've heard, and I think it's true, that that was the first book to have an Iranian gay male character as a lead. I told myself that every single book that I would write thereafter would have many Iranian queer characters, because I had to fill that void. And I think I'm 5 books in. I don't know. Clearly, I'm a mess right now. And I've held true to that, and this book in particular is an ode to 3 generations of Iranian men, and it's about the queer community in Iran today who do not have the luxury of telling their stories as freely as I do. And in order to write this story, because there are no records of queer life in Iran, I had to get people to trust me, cousins of mine, friends, to tell me about that life. And I really want to dedicate this to the queer people in Iran and all over the world who are living under governments that don't allow them to tell their stories freely. I also want to say that the year that I won the Lambda is the year I met my husband, who's filming me right now. And I was telling him on the way here how emotional it felt coming here, because a decade ago I met you, and we have the 2 most beautiful kids who are probably playing Fortnite and Roblox right now at home. And that year was such a shift in my life. It's when my career as an author started and when I met the man of my dreams. And, you know, to be here again just feels like it's telling me that I'm going in the right direction, that that first year wasn't a fluke, and that everything that started that year is the right path for me. Obviously, I'm grateful to HarperCollins and Balzer and Bray and my agents and everyone else, but I just want to end by again saying to the queer people of Iran and all over the world and all over the Middle East who are living their lives despite not having a spotlight on them, who do exist, we see you and we honor you. Thank you.
Here to present our final two awards of the evening is the author of The Old Place and Four Squares, and co-host of the popular celebrity and entertainment podcast, Who Weekly. Who? I like doing that. Who? Weekly. A Texas native, he lives in Brooklyn now. Please welcome Bobby Finger. Hey, get off the stage.
Hello. The final two. I remember the first gay people I ever met because I'd known them for just about as long as I've been alive. Growing up, only 2 people in my town of under 1,000 were out, to the best of my knowledge. Thank you. Though most adults, my parents included, tended to talk about them as roommates, classic, these 2 women were active members of the community. They worked at the same public school as my parents. They attended every game. There were many games, this was Texas, and they came to every function at the town hall. There was a town hall, and there were many functions there. But their queerness wasn't revealed to me until I was a teenager. Don't you know they're lesbians, someone told me? Lesbians? Of course, I internalized this revelation to mean that being queer was something to be kept secret, something to be whispered about in real life or joked about on television. It wasn't until I began reading queer fiction, Virginia Woolf, James Baldwin, all those entry points where so many of us probably began in private, that my own developing mind felt like the community I slowly came to realize I belonged to was something to celebrate, something to discuss out loud, something to write down, to share with the world. It was then that I realized their open commitment not only to each other, but to themselves was truly brave. Their honesty was as formative to me as the stories I was starting to read, whether they knew it or not. All the books nominated in the next 2 categories celebrate the breadth of the gay and lesbian experience and are worthy additions to the canon of literature that, along with my 2 former neighbors, hey, Gina and Sue, proves what I am grateful to have learned all those years ago. Here are the finalists in gay fiction.
The finalists in Outstanding Gay Fiction are American Scholar by Patrick E. Horrigan, Leaf Press. Blackouts by Justin Torres, Farrar, Straus, and Giroux. Brother and Sister Enter the Forest, a novel by Richard Mirabella, Catapult. Family Meal by Brian Washington, Penguin Random House, Riverhead Books. I Will Greet the Sun Again by Kashayar J. Kabushani, Hogarth Books.
Okay. And the winner of the 2024 Lammy Award in Outstanding Gay Fiction is Family Meal by Brian Washington. Brian, unfortunately, could not be with us tonight, but we congratulate him anyway. Here are the finalists in lesbian fiction.
The finalists in Outstanding Lesbian Fiction are Big Swiss by Jen Began, Scribner. Biography of X by Catherine Lacey, Farrar, Straus, and Giroux. Organ Beats by K. Ming Chang, One World. Our Hideous Progeny by C.E. McGill, HarperCollins Publishers. Pomegranate by by Helen Elaine Lee. Atria Books.
Okay, the winner of the 2024 Lammy Award in Outstanding Lesbian Fiction is Biography of X by Catherine Lacey.
Catherine Lacey is the author of 5 books and 1 short story collection. Her honors include the Brooklyn Book Prize, a Guggenheim Fellowship, and a Whiting Award, and the Young Lions Fiction Award from the New York Public Library.
Hi, I'm obviously not Catherine, and I know we all probably want to go to the after party, so I'll keep this short. Catherine wrote me an email today saying that if she wins, thank you. I am very much asleep right now in Venice, Italy, which, lucky for her. And she'd like to thank her agent, Jin Ah, her editors, Jackson Howard and Eric Chinsky, as well as the judges. And she'd also like to add that there's no gay pride without total solidarity with all colonized people. And I've been heartened by the writers speaking up in support of Palestine, especially the queer community and especially the young generation who have been setting an incredible example for their elders. What a gift. Love y'all. Thanks.
What a nice welcome back. Thank y'all. It is such a pleasure to introduce the second distinguished poet from the LGBTQ+ Youth Poet Laureate Residency, Victoria. Victoria, the LGBTQ+ youth civic poet, is a hard-of-hearing Black and Puerto Rican poet from Queens, New York. She's a reader and a future educator whose writing is written for and about unheard voices. She plans to eventually teach within New York City public school systems, potentially spreading the knowledge of writing she will acquire, as she believes that writing and reading is the key to liberation and revolution. Her end goal as a poet is to ensure that the ability to read and write poetry is accessible to all. Please enjoy the recording of Victoria's poem, Outposts. Thank you, Danica and Victoria, for sharing your wonderful poetry with us tonight.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria, and I was a fellow in the first LGBTQ Youth Poet Laureate Residency with LGBTQ writers in schools. During my time in the residency, I've been able to harness and perfect my craft with the grace and talent of my peers and mentor. The poem I'll be sharing with you all today is titled Outpost, which is important to me as a writer, especially a queer writer, but we should always use our pen to speak out about any injustice we see fit. Thank you to Chrysanthemum, LGBTQ writers in schools, and Lambda Literary for this amazing opportunity. Have a great night. American nihilists lay pretty little heads on landmines. Going clock's harsh tick lulls them to a land in between sleep dreaming. Soft bodies pillowed with fat, stomach-stuffed, swelling bellies tucked below a former burned pit. Dirt don't faze none. They've grown to love this cold-hearted bed that's performing as an unmarked grave. Land don't spit out bullets like man do. Ground, in fact, swallows around. It burns up hatred until it's shriveled into his dead garden, a real no-man's land for corpses to roam while rotting. Curls spread over grenades still sleep through the night. Through each detonation, there is no stir. But overnight, while the moon turns, guilt shrinks into less than a 017. They wake to creeping morning light, a sky's murals red of oranges. Is this sun mocking their servitude or recreating their debt? Heavy pockets staggering with bloody coins, looped earrings stabbing into the side. How much weighted gold amounts to a village of bodies? Lackeys don't think to brush the morning breath of death free from their mouth, instead chaining the scent to the underbelly's tongue's deep uvula. A life sentence to fulfill for as long as they shall talk. And back home, they're always asked to recount tales of heroism, like it's the adventures of Tom Sawyer. So American nihilists gallivant, one-legged since trench foot has bit off the opposing limb. though it's quite quickly coming for the left foot's big toe. But still, they dance, hobbling really while running their mouths, blowing the smell of death directly in your face. And though you pinch your nose, shut your mouth and clutch your eyes, the stench lingers and burns through all empty reform. This is the most multitasking they've done since 1941. If you forget to count serving your country while pretending to be honest all at once, those calloused hands of missing fingers and bleeding hangnails don't have a home. Functioning on their own, doing a sloppy job of a day's work, those burnt-off prints are well aware of their horrors. Do we blame the tool or its maker? American nihilist, everyone's favorite barstool drunk, brandishing off melted metals covered in rust and hiding under a grime of whiskey. We'll let them run their befouled mouth, for sometimes prayer slips out of a non-believer under a guise of lecture. Thank you. Have a good night.
Did you all have a good time? Did y'all have a good time? I want to say thank you to everyone in the literary world, the writers, editors, publishers, managers, agents, printing press, I don't know. Everyone who was nominated tonight, and of course all of our winners. Congratulations. Thank you so much to Lambda Literary. And thank you to every single one of you who help inspire the next generation so we can see where we're going and where we should be going. And I'm just really grateful for all of the fantastic activism that I've heard here on stage tonight. You all are amazing. Thank you so much for welcoming me into this world. Congratulations. Get home safe. My name is Peppermint. Have a great night.
Quick housekeeping stuff, hors d'oeuvres and open bar go for the next couple of hours. And then if you are a finalist who did not win, see me in the listening lounge in the back there and I'll give you your certificate. Thank you.